scale trade war.
Look,
What happens if we go into a full-scale trade war?
Look, it's really ugly. This president won the election based on reducing costs, but he's enacted the largest tax increase we've seen in over 50 years. And you know who's going to pay the price? Americans shopping at Walmart, Americans shopping at Costco. We don't know the purpose of these tariffs. The only thing we do know is he's planning on taking tax revenue from Americans paying more at Walmart and Costco and putting that into tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans.
We don't know what he's doing with the tariffs. How much of an insult this is to the Democratic voters. Y'all could watch MSNBC, all the liberal channels, CNN, and I think we all have a pretty good understanding of what he's looking to do with the tariffs. Maybe this gentleman right here, Brendan Duke, should go back and look at what Nancy Pelosi and what Bernie Sanders said about the tariffs, and maybe go back to look at that interview that Donald Trump did with Oprah to get a better understanding of what he's doing with the tariffs. These people aren't serious. They're not serious. They're not serious. Now, you never hear Abby fact-checking these things or challenging the words that the liberals say on this show. But she'll call out a challenge of Scott Jennings. She'll challenge a Kevin O'Leary. But it just is what it is. To be totally honest, it makes them look silly.
It's totally gross, and it's putting us on the brink of a recession. It could cost us tons of manufacturing jobs as we get into this trade war. It's a really disturbing policy. I hope he backs off.
But Kevin,
it could cause us jobs. All you got to do is go back to the Nancy Pelosi video. I'm not going to.
And he said there's a lot of deals that they're literally kissing his ass was the phrase he used, you know, very eloquently. Where are the deals?
Oh, my God.
104% tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, and sell it back here. Never.
They take technology, they steal it, and sell it back to us. Isn't that what Nancy Pelosi was just saying in 1996?
Has an administration 400% tariffs? What would that look like?
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. It's just not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well, hold on a second, Kevin. Well, I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people,
like, are you a moderator or like you bring the people on the panel because they're the experts, right? Let them talk, bro.
People, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe.
Who do y'all think creates the jobs for the average Americans? Who do you think creates the jobs for average Americans? We hate the elites, right? We hate them. Maybe the elites should shut down businesses. Maybe the elites that we hate should just shut down businesses and say, you know what? I'm tired of making X amount of money and giving the government half of what I'm making. I'm tired of, because I make more, I'm paying more in taxes, a higher. Maybe they should just shut down their businesses and see what happens when they shut down their businesses, how people can put food on the table when they no longer have a job to go to. We always try to separate the people that are successful enough to create their own businesses with the workers. Maybe she should sit down with, what was my man's name from the United Auto Workers? I forget his name. I forget the gentleman that we had on yesterday, or on Monday, who voted. Let me actually get his name. Hold on. United Auto Workers Union president. It is Sean Fain. So just so you guys, if you want to look it up. Sean Fain, who not only voted for Kamala Harris, campaigned for Kamala Harris. He's the head of the United Auto Workers Union. And he's praising the Trump tariffs. He's saying we need that for leverage to bring back manufacturing in America for the common people. This is why it's like the Democrats are so arrogant. The leadership, I'm talking about the politicians. They're so arrogant that when they get the polls on their own channels, the polls on CNN, we're not talking about Fox News giving a poll and them saying, yeah, people aren't feeling the Democrats. It's a Democratic channel, a liberal. You can't even say liberal leaning. It's a Democratic channel. And they're saying that their polls are showing that the people do not approve of the Democratic leadership. Are they not listening to that? They say they're the party of the common folk. Well, the common folk are telling you we're rocking with Trump. They approve Trump at a higher rate than they do the Democrats. But the Democrats are still standing on these silly principles and stances that are the reason why nobody is feeling them now. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
Short-lived. There will be.
But what's your timeline compared to? You don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive.
We don't know the timeline, ma'am. However, we do know that we're $36 trillion in debt because we've always been scared to. Oh, well, unless we have a. So let me get this straight. Unless we have a guaranteed timeline, we can't fix the country. That's like somebody who's obese, and I hate that I always use this example, but it just makes the most sense. That's like somebody who's obese, unhealthy, out of shape, going to their trainer and saying, "Now I need a timeline. I need to know the exact day. Before I start running, before I start working out, before I need to know."
Sorry to interrupt the video. We got a new challenge. 20,000 by the end of April. We fell short in March, but we're gonna get our goal this month. Thank you all in advance for those that are gonna continue to like, subscribe, maybe even leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. And on that note, let me let y'all get back to the video and I'll see y'all soon.
The exact day. Now, any honest trainer would say, yeah, I can't give you an exact day. Like, I don't know how your body's going to respond. I don't know. You may have some shortcomings. I don't know how to say. I don't know if you're going to stick to the plan. I don't know I don't know. But what she's saying is that, oh, unless we have a set day where we need to know how long, then we can't fix the country. That's what landed us in the problem that we're in now, ma'am. That's why we're $36 trillion in debt.
There's people right now who can't survive.
400% tomorrow morning, cheese on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
What do you think?
You know, here's the thing, though. This is the perfect example of, I understand how it would benefit you, but that's not what the American people voted for.
This is always what happens. They get these Democrats to try to separate the workers from the owners. They try to the Democrats know that the only way they'll have a chance is if they turn off if they convince the lower class to hate the people that are successful and make money. That's their only chance. That's what's helped create this narrative around where in America we'll say silly stuff like, oh, in order to make a lot of money, they had to do something crooked. Well, does that also include hiring you for a job? Is that crooked? And this is what happens. All of these Democrats, these people that did not vote for Trump, are going to tell the world what voters voted for Trump for. This is not what people voted for Trump. Ma'am, you didn't vote for Trump, so how do you know? Why don't you ask somebody who actually voted for Trump? There's a reason why his approval rating is much better than anybody on the Democratic side. But let them tell it. Let these political commentators who are Democrats, Democratic strategists, whatever the role they're playing at the particular time, they're telling you this is not what people voted for Donald Trump for. Who do you know? How many people are you hanging out with that voted for Trump? And who are you to jump on TV? And why don't you tell us what you voted for? Don't speak on what other people voted for. What did you vote for? And why didn't the majority of the country align with your views?
They voted because Trump said, here's the thing though, this is the perfect example of, I understand how it would benefit you, but that's not what the American people voted for. They voted because Trump said within 24 hours, costs will come down.
Trump supporters, by the way, you're talking about.
Well,
Especially.
Trump said that and there were people in the middle who said, okay, I'm going to vote for that. He also said he done the
Hey, ma'am, as a Trump voter, I'm good. I'm cool with what Trump's doing.
wars. That's not happening. We still have supply chain issues. So I just filled up my tank yesterday. Gas prices.
This man hasn't been in office for 100 days.
Prices are not down. Rent, groceries, prices are not down. And when people are looking at what's happening in the markets and they see the uncertainty and they see their 401ks, I had to listen to my mom talk about her investments on Sunday, and she's nervous.
Oh, your mom's got investments? That sounds pretty elitist to me. The people that I know struggle and living check to check, they don't have investments. Thank God your mom has investments.
Nervous. I get it. On top of that, though, don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have a vote on a budget that is going to be also another series of cuts for the American people and a little bit of gamesmanship, as you were saying, so that we can sort of pay for the tax cuts for folks like Kevin. Then we've also got DOGE, and we've got the impact that the DOGE cuts and the cuts in jobs are actually having on economies around the country. So it's when you layer all that together. And I think what you saw over last weekend is people don't want to wait anymore. People are angry. I mean, we saw incredible turnout over the.
Y'all waited for Joe Biden and we're getting ready to vote for him again, and then voted for Kamala Harris. And what did they accomplish? They said that the border crisis couldn't be solved with executive orders. Trump solved it. So what exactly, for all the Democrats out there, too bad Vons isn't on the show right now. He'd have the courage to say what he voted for. He'd have the courage to say what Joe Biden did for him. I'm just wondering, what exactly did Joe Biden do? What's your favorite thing about what Barack Obama did?
the weekend in rallies all across the country. We're seeing it in the polls. People are frustrated.
I want to bring this into real terms as well.
Let me fast forward a little bit. I left a timestamp. I don't even remember why, but let's take a look at this.
Moving manufacturing back to the U.S. takes a long time, but I'm still focused on two aspects. I mean, you have to differentiate the tariffs negotiated between countries, because the Eurozone just 48 hours ago said something remarkable. For the first time in decades, we're willing to go to 0 on 0. That means they open up all markets to all products, all services. That's a huge win.
Oh, wait. Already? All that stuff, I believe he said Europe, right? All that stuff those European leaders were talking. But there were a couple that stood out and said, like, I remember hearing, they asked one of the leaders of one of the banks, I believe, it was a lady, and they asked her about Trump's comments saying that European nations have taken advantage of America in trade for a very long time. And what does she think about it? She didn't say that he was wrong. And the answer that she gave, it pretty much insinuated to me that, oh, they really have been. And there's people over there that know it. Listen to what he just said.
I mean, you have to differentiate the tariffs negotiated between countries, because the Eurozone just 48 hours ago said something remarkable. For the first time in decades, we're willing to go to 0 on 0. That means they open up all markets to all products, all services. That's a huge win. So forget about Israel or Thailand or Cambodia. We're talking about one of the largest economies on earth saying, okay, we get the joke. You want to sell cars? You want to sell a Corvette in Berlin? We're okay at 0. We've never had that before. So let's call that a huge win. We haven't done the deal yet, but let's get the German people over here to start negotiating that. Agriculture in Britain will go to 0 on 0. Canada, we'll love to do energy 0 on 0. So that's a huge win for him. Huge. He hasn't even taken advantage of it yet.
I thought, Kevin, part of it, I'm curious from your perspective, and everyone, if one of the biggest assets of a negotiation is leverage, if he has said they're here to stay, does that remove some of the ability for him to negotiate in the long run with these countries?
Well, I'm trying to...
Man, if you're negotiating tariffs, do you think that it's smart for Trump to say, yeah, we're probably just going to remove them? Of course he's going to say they're here to stay until there's a new negotiation that occurs. There's the difference between business people and politicians. All right, so I had a whole... I'm not going to keep y'all up for that. This is what we're going to do. We're going to save what I have on the rest of the show for Friday. That's what we're going to do. All right. Do I want to finish off with any post in particular? No. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up. I wanted to get y'all out of here by 11, so we're going to wrap up. Let me... Here's my screen. Did I just... Oh, I'm about to say, did I just close out the live? I'm tripping. All right, so y'all know we end every show 45 seconds, clearing our mind. I think the main takeaway was to not get too extreme with it. It's politics. It is a sport to these people. Us hating each other and us being so emotionally triggered and engaged when it comes to these politicians, it's like these people that have bad weeks when the Giants lose a game. Like, it's like, yo, you're not impacted at all. Like, it's all good. You're still going to go to work. You're still going to get paid this week or next week, however it works out. It's all good. You losing sleep, losing friends, arguing, stressed out, and anxious over the Giants game, you're more stressed out than the owners of the team, because win or lose, they still making money. So let's keep that in mind when it comes to politics. All right, 45 seconds. Breath work, mindfulness, meditation, manifest. Clear your mind, focus, whatever it is that you need. You take 45 seconds to do so. Release all this energy from today's show. Don't let this stuff get y'all. Don't let it get us upset. We can't, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, but let's not allow this stuff to get us upset. Let's not allow it to get us upset. Let's hope that everything works out for the best. Let's hope that we can stop these wars that are going on with all this senseless killing. Let's just hope that a year from now, a month from now, next week, we're in a better place with more Americans appreciating America, embracing America for the opportunities that it presents us, and just having a more positive mindset overall regarding this country. All right. So, and regarding the world, shoot. All right. So 45 seconds, you can close your eyes. You can leave them open. It's on you. I'm going to be closing my eyes. Every exhale, get rid of the negative energy. And every inhale, let's inhale all those positive thoughts, all that positive energy that's going to help us accomplish those things that we need to accomplish and hopefully get on the right track. We got Thursday and Friday, right? We set out every Sunday and Monday to make this the greatest week ever. Consider this halftime. Consider Wednesday halftime. All right, let's 45 seconds. Ready, go. All right. One more. Exhale, get that negative out. Inhale all that positive energy. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Y'all know what it is, and y'all know we come here to do elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint. That means raising our standards to challenge ourselves to become the best leaders we can become and to accomplish all these amazing goals that we set for ourselves. It's going to take us to grow. Best way to grow, challenge ourselves, raise the standards. Let's raise the standards across the board. Let's challenge ourselves to make certain changes in our lives, to not get engaged and caught up in the negative, and to just live and rest in that positive. All right. Strength and honor, onward and upward. Y'all know what it is when I say get to that bag. If you don't, I mean, focus on the little things. Focus on all the little things that we're going to do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, throughout our lifetime, that are going to allow us to keep us on track for getting and living in our purpose as efficiently as possible, right? We got our goals. We want to get there as efficiently as possible as we strive for our purpose and that overall purpose of what we call purposeful abundance. All right. What's in your bag? You got to determine it based on the things that you desire in life. What's in my bag? The things that I focus on: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. On that note, I shall see y'all soon. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Until next time, Friday a.m., 8 o'clock. Make sure you be there. Like and subscribe on your way out, and maybe even share the show with somebody if you enjoyed it, or maybe share Friday's show, and maybe some of your friends and family can tap in live with us. On that note, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.